Welcome to 3XP. I'm Chris Bridges, and today we will be taking a look into the games Hyperdimension, Neptunia Rebirth 1, and Smite. I suck at Smite, and Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth is a mouthful, and it sounds like one of the weirdest games that we've ever covered on this very channel. So now, we are switching over to Jacob to discuss what this Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth really is.
Thanks, Chris. Today I'll be talking about Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1 by our good friends at Idea Factory. The story is about 4 CPUs, aka goddesses, by the name of Neptune, Purple Heart, Vert, Green Heart, Lior, Black Heart, and Blanc, White Heart. And they are in a long battle called the Console War. During this battle, they are fighting to see who will be the ruler of game industry. The main character, Neptune, gets knocked out of battle and falls down from Celestia, aka Denkai, or Heaven, to Planpatoon, the Purple Heart's land in game industry. A human by the name of Kompa sees Neptune falling from the sky and thought she was a shooting star. Upon investigating the crash zone, Kompa met Neptune and brought her back to her house. When Neptune woke up, she forgot her memory. The main point of the story is Neptune wants to regain her memory, unite all of the goddesses, and defeat the evil witch Arfuori. The story is told through visual novel style cutscenes. The gameplay consists of going into dungeons, which are open roaming areas in 3D. You can hit an enemy to enter a battle. If you time your hit right, you can get a simple attack and we'll be able to go first. If you miss, the enemy will attack first. While in battle, you can get to have a turn with each party member to attack enemies. You have a few options. You can use SP skills, which are stronger and unique to each character. In return, they use SP, which can replenish with SP charges or leaving a dungeon. At level 25, for each character, you unlock your first EXE skill. These are powerful skills that require a charge of EXE gauge. These attacks are very strong and look really cool to execute. Your third option is to do basic attacks. There are 3 types of attacks: rush, power, and break. Break attacks are the most useful because all enemies have guard points that limit the amount of damage they can take to their health points. The most effective way to take out an enemy is to destroy its guard, and then use power attacks because they deal more HP damage than GP damage. Your fourth option is to defend, which just ends your turn. If you hit the right bumper, you can see a few more options. If you're playing as any of the 4 CPUs, you can use your hard drive Divinity to transform from your human to goddess form. If you're playing in a party that has couples, you can switch out with the other party member. You can use items with A, and this allows you to use potions and charges on you or any party members within range. The last option is to flee. You have to go to the edge of the battle and hit the button to do so. During a battle, you have a range of area you can go based on your starting position on that turn. You also have a blue box in front of you that tells you where your weapon can hit. Overall, the only problem I have for this game is that there is a lot of grinding, which isn't too bad because it's really fun, and the English voice acting is really bad. That doesn't matter much though because I play in Japanese, and that is honestly pretty good. I give this game 10 puddings out of 10 due to Neptune's just insane pudding addiction. Yes, there is grinding in this game, just like most Japanese role-playing games. But not to fear, my friends, grinding is really easy. For example, my grinding spot in Chapter 4 and 5 is the dungeon MS Mountain. Before you go in it, create the plan to add tougher enemies. Go in and defeat the first 2 directionless soldiers, then go up the hill and kill the Pollux. Either loop around those 3 enemies, or leave the dungeon and return to restore your health and SP. You can use this grinding tactic in pretty much any part of the game, just with a different dungeon. For example, I used another dungeon called Fantasy Zone a little later in the game, and I grinded the cyber whales there. So, just use this tactic for any part of the game, and you can just do some good grinding, and, beat those bosses you're stuck on. Warning, potential spoiler ahead. When I was playing, there was this boss, Fake Whiteheart, that took me over 2 hours to finally beat. It felt really good after I defeated her. Check it out.
れるなんて。今回はちょっとやばかったかな。
And we are back. Thanks, Jacob. You seem to know a lot about the game already. Sounds like you've been playing it for a long time. And on to our next feature, Smite. Brett, can you give me some tips or anything to help me because I suck so bad people want to just disown me. So Brett, take it away.
Thanks, Chris. First we have Intelligence. Now I haven't played a lot of this game, but I think it's really well made. This game is on PC, but has just been released on Xbox One as a T-rated game. You fight as gods against other gods to complete the objective, and it is also a third-person MOBA. It includes 6 modes you can play, including Arena, which is a mode where you fight in an arena and try to send minions through the enemy's portal. Assault mode is a 5v5 one-lane mode to destroy the enemy's Titan as the final objective. Conquest is basically Assault mode, but with 3 lanes. In both modes, you fight through the towers and phoenixes to kill the Titan. Another mode is Joust, which is a 3v3 one-lane mode that includes jungles on the sides. It is better to play this if you don't have a lot of friends to make a full team. Siege is Conquest, but is only 2 lanes, but includes a siege juggernaut that you have to protect to blow through their defenses. And finally, Practice mode helps you practice to fight and test different characters. In this game, you earn gods, and in the game, you get upgrades and items that make you stronger. Now on to Perception. I suggest that you guys play with an entire team of your friends because you never know how good your random will be. Also, that you play passive and wait for the right time to strike, and never push into a tower to kill someone. Lastly, always test a character before purchasing it, and make sure to find an item build to make your character the best. And for the lucky clip, we have Jacob with a sick triple kill with Artemis, but he got shut down by Thor. Check it out.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of 3XP. Thank you, Brett and Jacob. Be on the lookout for this week's poll of what is the best Japanese role-playing game: Final Fantasy, Pokemon, or Dark Souls. Go to our Twitter page at 3XP Ampere, and for the results of last week's poll, drum roll. Mario and Sonic were tied with Banjo-Kazooie in last. Until next week, I'm your host, Chris Bridges, saying make sure to like and subscribe.